I want to show you my basic sponge ball vanish here. The way I do it is I just take the ball and apparently place it in the hand, okay? So you're really just kind of, you're doing the old thing where you just kind of, you show the ball and you roll your thumb across it. This was taught to me by David Williamson. That was kind of how he did it. And there's a couple different ways to do this, whether your fingers are going above or below, okay? So you can kind of do it like this or like that. It's totally up to you. I usually just show the ball, roll it, and pretend to place it there. And what really gives it the sell is the other ball that you've got to immediately grab. So, for instance, if we were doing it with the pocket method, if you just have the ball sticking in your pocket, you're just going to take this ball off the table and pretend to place it in your left hand, and then immediately pick this one up and place it into their hand and have them close their hand. Okay, so I wanted to talk just really quickly about that false transfer for just a second. All right, you are giving them almost a retention of vision. Okay, similar to what you would do with a coin. All right, when you're placing a coin in your hand, usually the coin is held at the fingertips. Okay, and it's placed into the hand like this, which I think is just as deceptive. It just doesn't look as natural. With a ball, you usually just kind of place it like that. All right, so practice that in front of the mirror a few times, and you'll get the idea. Okay, now I also want to talk to you about putting an object into someone's hand without them knowing it. You don't have to manhandle them, so to speak, but you do have to pay close attention. All right, so let's say that they're holding out their hand. This is their hand. You've got the ball. Okay, so you take the ball, pretend to place it in your hand. Okay, and then you take the other ball. They're holding out their hand. All right, so now you're apparently just placing one ball into their hand. There's a couple different things that might happen. They might not close their hand, which is okay. Then you kind of look at them in the eye and say, close your hand into a tight fist. If they still don't do it, you might want to help them, okay? Because you don't want to just sit here like this for a while, because that's a weird moment. So I might just take their fingers and close their hand for them, and then I'll just slightly turn their hand over. You don't want to really manhandle them. I don't like the idea of taking the ball, put it in their fist, closing their fist for them, and turning it over. I would like them to do the whole thing themselves, because that makes it seem more free and more fair. Okay, so I just take the ball, I just place it on the palm of their hand, and don't release it. I just pin it against the palm of their hand as I say, just close your hand into a tight fist. I specifically say tight. After years of trial and error, tight is a very specific word. So please take this ball and close your hand into a tight fist. They usually just do it exactly like that, 99.9% of the time. Every once in a while, someone will just look at you because either they don't speak English or they want to mess with you. Okay, in that case, I just force their hand closed. Not forcing it physically, but I just force it closed as opposed to them just holding it flat. I close it for them, okay? And this is why this is a great routine, because if someone's giving you trouble, then you know that person's going to be a jerk for the rest of the, your stay at that table, so it's a great way to test the waters, okay? But yeah, that's the move. Just place it in their hand. I pin it against their palm as they close their fingers around it, and then I pull my finger out. And if they grab my finger, that's fine. I'll even make a joke about it. I'll say, wow, you got a grip. I need that back for the rest of the routine, though, but thank you. And they'll even remember that. They'll think, wow, he really was closing his hand. He almost took his finger. There's no way he could have done anything sneaky. It was in his hand the whole time. And so now when I snap my fingers and then show my hand empty, their brain kind of completes the illusion, and they go right here and they go, no way. And then when you open up your hand and it's there, it's just a perfect magic trick. It really is. All right? So handle that moment very gingerly. All right? The first ball, all right, is placed in your hand. Only it's retained. And then you grab the second ball, pin them together, and then place them against their palm, asking them to close their hand around the ball into a tight fist. Only then do you let go, okay? Don't let go too soon. If you let go too soon, they'll just see two balls, and then they'll close their fist, and they'll go, wait a minute, I have got two balls. And they'll be really confused, and it won't be a good trick. So don't release that until they close their hand. All right, very important moment. That's the moment, that's the management you're going to have to practice. And you can only do it by doing it with a live person. So go find your brother or your sister or someone that likes you and practice, okay?